discussion.
I'm going to die on this hill. There are similarities between the Warriors just before their dynasty began. In 2014, they brought in Steve Kerr and Iguodala. Right now, we just made the Eastern Conference Finals, but we fired Tibbs, and we're hiring Mike Brown. All right? Now we're pivoting towards a new philosophy with potentially a wide open path to the chip because of the Eastern Conference's injuries. So that timing is what we're going to start off with the comparisons. With the Warriors in 2014, they fired Mark Jackson after back-to-back playoff appearances. That included a 51-win season despite improving. Then they brought in Steve Kerr, a first-time coach, but he had a broader offensive vision. The team's foundation was already strong. They had Steph, they had Clay, they had Draymond, and then they brought in additional veterans. But it was a next step higher, aiming to unlock a championship ceiling. Now look at us. Fired Tibbs after making the Eastern Conference Finals. That was a high point for us. We hadn't had that much success since 2000. And then we hired Mike Brown, who is a seasoned coach with a reputation for defense, but also player development and modern adaptability. Brown is seen as a bridge between old school accountability and new school creativity. Similar to how Kerr was able to merge those philosophies. But this move signals not a rebuild, but it kind of is more like a refinement of a contender, just like the Warriors did. Both of those franchises made bold coaching changes, not because of failure, but because of a belief that our current ceiling isn't our final ceiling. And that takes strategy. I love that the organizations also looked at free agency to complement the core. Golden State signed Iguodala, a veteran known for his high IQ, his defense, and his leadership. Iguodala changed that organization. He balanced the egos, he mentored the young players. He ultimately became Finals MVP in 2015. Not flashy, but a chemistry-shaping, identity-reinforcing move. For us, we just signed Yabusele, a European player that found success, versatile and tough. Jordan Clarkson, a scoring guard who can thrive as a sixth man or even be a combo creator. He would be our version of Leandro Barbosa or Livingston for microwave bench scoring. Then Hakporti is developing beautifully. All right, he's mobile, he brings size, just like the Warriors had when they had Festus Ezeli and Kevin Looney. These signings are about fit and function, not about flash. Much like Iguodala's arrival wasn't a headline-grabbing move at the time, Knicks are clearly aiming to surround Brunson, Towns, and Bridges with complementary players, not superstars, at least not yet. And I love that the developmental focus is there. Under Kerr, Draymond Green became a full-time starter. He was like their defensive quarterback and a secondary playmaker, roles that hadn't been fully tapped under Mark Jackson. Then you had Harrison Barnes, who grew into a reliable starter with expanded shooting responsibilities. The development wasn't just about rookies for them. It was about expanding the games of existing rotation players as well. Kerr's system empowered players to make reads, not just follow set plays. This autonomy turned role players into difference makers. And I think that's why we brought in Mike Brown, who now inherits OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, two elite defenders whose offensive roles have yet to be fully unlocked at a championship level. OG has long been a low usage, efficient spot-up shooter and cutter. But we now believe there's more that we could bring out of him. Under Brown's guidance, we hope to tap into his strength as a post-mismatch scorer, a ball mover from the elbow, a decisive slasher. Think of how Brown once used LeBron and later Harrison Barnes. I know we ain't got no LeBron. Or even Keegan Murray. You know, it's great work. And then you got Mikal Bridges. He's flash leading scorer skills in Brooklyn. I think he had 26 points per game for a stretch. But it was just chaotic over there. In New York alongside Brunson and Cat, he won't be overextended. Brown's system could refine Bridges into a fluid second or third option, who gets clean looks by having motion sets, DHO actions, ghost screens. Expect more off-ball curls, cuts off pin downs, mismatches exploited. The same way Mike Brown unleashed Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter in Sacramento, he could do here. I think his development skills is going to be what's needed. It's absolutely going to be what's needed. He's trying to expand what McCall Bridges and OG already do well and give them more structure and freedom at the same time. Where Tibbs' offense often froze, like wings into the stand in the corner duty, Brown's offense could be more dynamic. He can use OG like a Swiss Army knife. One play he's set in the back screen, next he's catching in the mid post, next he's lifting to the top like a reversal three. That different, variety and offense can be there. He can sculpt McCall into a slashing shot creator, a silent assassin who's deadly in motion, like a taller Rip Hamilton. I've always seen that, but with better defense. Just like the Warriors develop within, not by replacing their wings, but by elevating them, the Knicks are betting on the growth from OG and McCall, not just external additions. That's the key to the belief. OG and McCall don't need to become all-stars overnight. But if Mike Brown can turn them from 3 and D wings into weapons, then this Knicks offense becomes unpredictable, versatile, matchup proof. The exact formula that the 2015 Warriors rode to a title. And we gotta take advantage of this time now with the injury chaos in the Eastern Conference. In 2014-2015, the West's injuries and roster shifts, Thunder missed Durant at that time, one of many. We're looking at that right now. Tatum, Lillard, Halliburton, the torn Achilles, Miles Turner going over to the Bucks, thinning the Pacers. Lonzo Ball traded to the Cavs, but Garland's gone, and that signals a shift in terms of their chemistry and maybe style of play. The East is in flux. The Knicks smell blood in the water. Both teams, the Warriors and the Knicks, they saw that the road got clearer due to external circumstances. And that made us really push forward that internal change. We have to strike while the iron is hot. We have to. And attack them with a new look. So that's why when the Warriors had Kerr, they implemented a motion-heavy offense, unlocking the full genius of Curry and Clay. Players had more freedom. The ball moved. Role players became more involved. We're hoping for that with us. Mike Brown is expected to bring a more fluid offensive system to optimize the spacing around Brunson and Towns. And then hopefully we'll have that potential to turn McCall Bridges into a high-level tertiary scorer like Barnes once was. Then we have Clarkson, who adds movement, shooting, and creation. After years of Tibbs' rigid structure, this offensive shift could elevate the entire roster. That's where both teams moved on from grinder coaches in Jackson and Tibbs to strategic thinkers who prioritize ball movement. We already have a culture of grit. It's time to evolve that into a culture of belief. Mark Jackson instilled confidence in defense, but Kerr helped them believe they could be champions. He told Draymond and Curry, "You're the best players on the court. Play like it." Tibbs built a blue-collar, tough defensive identity with us. He made us believe again. But Mike Brown now inherits players with an underdog mentality but elite upside. He can now evolve that grit into belief. You're not just scrappy. You're good enough to win it all. That's the message he can instill. This is a spiritual transition as much as a tactical one. We need to go from surviving to thriving. And I love the fact that we have an elite guard. We have an elite 4. With the Warriors, Curry and Clay, They offered their foundation. Draymond added defensive IQ and playmaking. With us, Brunson is an engine. Brunson is a cold-blooded scorer and leader. Karl Anthony Towns is the skilled forward center who can space the floor. Maybe he could be the Draymond for us, minus the defense. But Mikal Bridges provides that elite wing defense. He could be that Iguodala Barnes slash. And then we have the supporting cast we just added. The Knicks now have our version of a three-man core with complementary skill sets, all in their prime. That's why listen, everybody loves Giannis. I'm ready to roll with what we got. The perception shifts. We're no longer a cute story. We have the potential to be a serious threat. Early 2000 Warriors went from a team who had a loyal fan base. And then Kerr, Iguodala, that transition transformed them into a feared contender. In 2025, Knicks are no longer just a cool Villanova reunion. We're no longer just scrappy underdogs. With Mike Brown, the locker room has a championship experienced coach, roster versatility, and star power. The injuries around the East give the New York Knicks a legitimate path to the finals. The city is hungry. The fan base, we're rabid. And the pressure now is a privilege for us. Both teams are poised to flip the narrative and go from nice story to you better take us seriously. But the key difference, which is a little bit more advantageous for the Knicks ownership and front office, led by Leon Rose, we've shown aggression and roster building. While the Warriors in 2015, they were more conservative. This Knicks team has more urgency and may be more likely to make a mid-season trade if needed. I mean, it could be OG, it could be Cat. Obviously, that Giannis talk is still out there. But at the end of the day, this is what I'm talking about. The Knicks next year are looking like the Warriors of 2014. Coaching change for growth, not repair. Roster restructured with high IQ veterans, athletic young pieces, a clear championship window thanks to conference chaos, but also that internal belief that's rising and the respect that's catching up with it. It smells like destiny. This is not a reset, it's a redirection towards contention. And just like the Warriors in 2015, it's championship or bust for us. And for the first time, that's a realistic standard. It's a beautiful time to be a Knicks fan. But what say you? Keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. There's no struggle, there's no progress. But also remember this, whether it's out there in the real world or here in these YouTube streets, here in Knicks Deli, everybody eats. I'm your boy Sheehan, and I'm out. Peace.